Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Jenny Gage and this is Life Take Two, where I share my escape from the oppressive Mormon tradwife life that I used to live. I've been working on something for about a year and I want to read it to you today. First, I just want to say thank you to Reverend King for the absolute inspiration that his speech was to me in a time when I very much needed it. Growing up in the oppressive, very stratified, very dismissive patriarchal culture of Mormonism, where I didn't have any power. I wasn't the prophet. I didn't have the priesthood. I wasn't the dad in the home. I was a second-class citizen in Mormonism. I relate very much to other populations that have been oppressed. And as I was escaping domestic violence, at the same time that I was escaping the Mormon church, I found Dr. Martin Luther King in his own voice reading his original I Have a Dream speech. And I would just put my earbuds in and listen to it again and again and again as I hiked and packed boxes to leave my home, not having another home on the other side, as I filed divorce papers, as I tried to take care of my kids and rebuild my life. I have listened to his speech so many times that I think that it's permanently ingrained on every cell in my body. And it's truly one of the most inspiring things that I've ever read. If you haven't listened to Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech recently, then when you get done with this video, please do so. And if your children haven't heard it, will you please share it with them? Last summer, as I was listening to this again, I thought how beautiful it would be to have a version for my daughters, like literally for my daughters. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. I have a dream for our daughters. I'm happy to stand here today, united with you in the cause of justice, equality, and the undeniable rights of women and girls everywhere. For too long, women have been denied their voice, their opportunities, their rightful place as equals in society. Too long have our daughters been told what they cannot do instead of being empowered to chase their dreams. But I say to you today, my friends, that change is not just coming, it is here, and we will not turn back. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day every girl, no matter where she's born, will be valued not for how she looks, but for the power of her mind, the strength of her spirit, and the depth of her character. I have a dream that one day in workplaces and schools, in government and in homes, women will stand shoulder to shoulder with men. This is really hard to read now that Kamala has lost. I was envisioning a different outcome for the election when I originally wrote this line. Not as exceptions, but as equals. That their ideas will not be dismissed, their voices will not be silenced, and their ambitions will not be limited. I have a dream that one day no daughter will grow up believing she is worth less, that she must shrink herself to fit into a mold society has made for her, that no woman will have to fight for the right to make decisions over her own body, her own future, her own life. I have a dream today. I have a dream that mothers and daughters, sisters and wives will walk freely in a world where their safety is not a privilege but a right, that they will no longer fear violence in their homes, on their streets, or in their workplaces, that justice will no longer turn a blind eye to their suffering. I have a dream that one day the words, "She's just a girl," will be replaced with, "She is unstoppable," that our daughters will be told they can be leaders, builders, creators, and pioneers, that they will not have to fight to be heard, because their voices will be valued as much as any other. This is the time. This is the moment. We will not be satisfied until every woman is treated with dignity. Every girl is given the same chance to succeed, and every barrier that holds them back is shattered once and for all. And when that day comes, when our daughters rise without fear, when our sisters lead without apology, when our wives, mothers, and friends walk with equal power, we will all be free. Let freedom ring from every boardroom and every classroom. Let freedom ring from every household and every courtroom. Let freedom ring until no girl is told she must sit quietly. No woman is paid less for the same work, and no daughter is denied her dreams. And when that day comes, we will look back and say, This was the moment we changed the world, not just for women, but for all of us. For when women rise, humanity rises. And so I say to you, let us march forward. Let us dream boldly. Let us fight fiercely. Because the dream is no longer a dream. It is our future. Just in my own life recently, I have been the victim of sexual harassment. Obviously, I've been the victim of domestic violence for 24 years in my marriage. And I have spent my whole entire life until I left the Mormon church being told that my only place was in the home and that God wanted me to be a wife and a mother and nothing else. And should I choose to go out into the world and have a career, that I was doing something wrong, that I was literally breaking God's commandment. I know I talk about this little detail a lot, but it bothers me so much that when I go to business mixers, I mean, like right now, just a couple weeks ago, going to a business mixer, men compliment me on my hair, on my smile, on my cute skirt and stuff, and aren't really engaging in like meaningful intellectual conversation with me, despite the fact that my IQ is very likely 10 to 20 points higher than most of theirs. And I often wonder, like, what would happen if I talked to all the guys at the business extras and just like, oh my God, I love your tie. It's so cute. It's adorable. I really like the way you're doing your hair tonight. Like, so cute. I would love for all women to be valued, not for any of this, but for the power of our minds, the strength of our spirits, the depths of our character. And I do not think that this is an impossible dream. I think that we keep resisting the patriarchy. I think that we continue with West 4Bs, with man-proofing our lives, with telling our stories, with drawing a line. And as we lean into being boundaried, self-reliant women who are working twice as hard as the men around us, pretty soon this dream becomes a reality. So I want to end it with this. Here's a little story from Costco yesterday. I was in the Costco fridge section with like all the strawberries and the lettuce and stuff. And I thought I'd pushed my cart off to the side so that I could grab the broccoli. But you always misjudge the width of those Costco carts, right? So I'd kind of misjudged the width of the cart. And my cart bumped into me because there was a grandpa over here who was trying to go around it and he had this really grumpy face. And I apologized. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had pulled off to the side, didn't mean to block the aisle. And he says, oh, yeah, women always do that. So I walk a couple steps closer to him, look him dead in the eye, and said, no, they don't. And that is absolutely not okay to say, sir. He went running to his wife outside the cooler and gave me a sheepish look over his shoulder. He didn't know that he was talking to a girl who had a dream. Let's dream the dream, guys. And now I'd love to hear from you. I'll be hanging out in the comments. What do you think?